Hey guys, welcome back to the Ignite SAT Mastery course. Today we'll be covering Lesson 7 of Module 3, the best sentences questions. Now, just as a refresher, let's take a look at some of these best sentences questions. Now, in general, they're going to look something like this, where they're asking either about a specific graph or, a specific concept that best completes or the most accurately and effectively completes whatever the information there or the description or whatever the passage could be. As the name suggests, it's going to be the best sentence that correlates with whatever has been given before. Now, let's try answering one of these best sentences questions. Alright, here we have question 12. And this is asking, which choice most accurately and effectively represents the information in the graph? So let's look at some context of this question. In the summer, average daily high temperatures in Greenland can rise to slightly above 50 degrees Fahrenheit, partially melting the ice in the winter. The sheet thickens as additional snow falls, and average daily low temperatures can drop to as low as 20 degrees. So this is asking us to look at the average daily low temperatures. It's telling us, what do these low temperatures actually drop to? So let's look at the winter months. So if we look to the graph below, we can see the average daily high and low temperatures recording at Nuuk Weather Station, Greenland. Now, let's look at these temperatures. We can see that the black line represents the average daily low. Now, let's look at these winter months. We have ranging all the way from December on the right to March on the left. And as we can see, the lowest temperature recorded during these winter months is actually 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, let's see if this aligns with any of our answer choices. And wow, would you have guessed it? To 12 degrees Fahrenheit is an answer choice. And we got that by looking directly at the graph and using the context around to find our answer. This would be the correct answer. Alright, now that you guys have had a chance to look at this problem, how about we try it on our own? Now that you have had a chance to attempt this problem, let's go through it. So, question 20 is asking, which choice best completes the description of a self-reinforcing cycle? So, let's look at this context. We can start with question 20, where it's asking, which is related to the rising temperatures. So, let's look at this context. This result is a self-reinforcing cycle. As the ice melts, the land and water under the ice become exposed, and since the land and water are darker than snow, the surface absorbs even more heat, which is related to the rising temperatures. Now, notice I highlighted self-reinforcing cycle. We know from this context that there's going to be, more ice melting. As we can see, the ice melts, and then after that, the surface absorbs more heat. So what best completes this cycle, the self-reinforcing cycle? And in this context, it would be more melting. As we see from the question being asked, it's a self-reinforcing cycle. We highlighted this in our passage, and we see that the ice melts. So that means we have to have something that leads to additional melting. And yes, this would be our correct answer. Alright, now let's look at some tips for answering these specific best sentences questions. Now, the first one is going to be checking. You have to check the context of what the question is being asked. Just like in our last question, they were asking for the best self-reinforcing cycle, or a specific question may ask about the graph. It is important to know what is being asked of. The next, underline what parts of the question that are important to the context. You need to know what specifically in the question is being asked. You need to look at the answer choices, and you also need to look at the passage and underline key points that are going to help uncover the answer. Next, you're going to want to replace whatever that sentence fragment is with whatever's found in the graph, whatever's found within the concepts found in the passage, or even in that general paragraph. And finally, you're going to want to reference that answer you put with an answer choice found in the answers in that question. And this is almost a surefire way that this will be correct. Now, next time, we're going to look at placing the sentence questions in the writing section of the SAT.